and welcome. It's me, Doctor Lefthandthread, reporting to you from the doctor's surgery. Tonight, I have put together an epic repair marathon from the back catalogue for you guys out there. I am unable, unfortunately, to bring you the live streams for the next few weeks, I would imagine. But to finish out the trio, the DeWalt, the Makita and Milwaukee, we're going big, we're going Milwaukee tonight. I've searched the back catalogue and got a few interesting repair videos from the last year or so. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video.
Milwaukee impact wrench, and it's not going. The lights are on, but no one's home. That's a fully charged battery, or three bars. Anyway, it's not going. That's the whole point. So we're going to get it open and see what we can do. Yeah, look at that. The brushes are well down. You can see that. That's what I was hoping for. And you said we'll just stick them in there without much further ado. The brushes were well shot, look at that. They were gone. Go the moment of truth now. I'm calling that fixed. Milwaukee grease gone, and it's going. It's got that horrendous noise. And you have to forgive the wind outside because Storm Dara is attacking us today. But anyway, to fix that, all you need is this. This goes between the gearbox and the motor. So we're going to have to open this, put this in, and that'll solve the problem. As you see, somebody's done the little conversion to the bigger tubes. But, you see, these are the 500 gram tubes. But anyway, we'll talk about that another day. That's another story. If you're interested, you need a T20 torque to take this off. All the screws are TX20s. That's security torques. There. Correction, they're not security, but they are T10, sorry, T20. There's no little raised up piece in the middle that makes them security torque. But I always buy the security torques because that does both. I'll get this lid off for you now. One more screw here, you have to listen. Is there T10 or T15? Right, that's a T15 there. That should lift that. Again, a TX15 for that job. This should allow us to lift the side off now, hopefully. I haven't missed any screws. Oh, I missed one. And there we are. It's always one, isn't it? Yeah, I have them all, I think, now. Alright. Should get it now. There we are. And that's the side off. This is a fairly simple procedure. It really goes on there, just. That's up there. So we'll have to get this out. There we are. I'll sort that. Allow us to ease this out a little bit. And get this off. That's probably as far as we need to go with a tear down. And as you can see, this is fairly simple. You just take it off the way it would. Take it off and put the other one on the way it's on, and it's only on with 2 Phillips head screws. I'll get down closer so you can see that and see what we're doing here. They're tight to get a little spring washer on them. Sorry about the XS1 today, but that couldn't be helped. It's just the Mother Nature is up today and remind us how small we are. Storm Dara has been doing a wee bit of devastation across the country last night and this morning, so but the show must go on here. That's straight on there. I'll put it on good and tight because it was on tight, so it's as tight as I can put it on without shearing the screws. See, the cog go into the gears, which you can do first time sometimes, and sometimes you just can't. It's just one of those things. Here we are. You're cogged into the gears, and then there's 2 little wing tips that she has to go onto. There's a wee part in this that she has to clip onto, and she appears to be in place there. So we'll put everything back in the way it was and tighten all up and get her back together. Nuts are all screwed together. That's the old part. So it's the moment of truth. All I have to do is put in a battery and test it. Here we are. See, it's pumping out the grease and that screeching noise has vanished. So I'm calling that fixed. Today I'm going to talk about something that's prevalent in battery repair called the jump start method. But I'm not going to do it. I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't do it on a battery like this, which will be a prime candidate normally. This battery is showing on the voltmeter 10 volts, roughly speaking. Yep. And if we take the top off, I'm ready to take out the screws for speed. We can see what it's showing across the cells. 1.8, 1.8, 1.8, 1.8, I think as well, and 1.8. So we're getting equal voltage across the cells, but it's a terminally low amount of voltage across the battery. So they're equal to each other, however, it's far, far too low. So normally I would say jump start this battery. The reason I'm saying I'm not to do it is it can heat up the cells and cause cell failure. There's a much better way to do it, and I'm going to show you now. Instead of doing the jump start, I recommend using this item. It's a programmable DC power supply. And this power supply is able to bring up the voltage of this battery without overloading the cells, without heating them up, that they'll end up failing. So you can see here the plus and minus, plus minus. So we can clip the plus on here. I'll put it up that way, maybe if it helps you see better, and put the minus on here. And I've already set the board to 17.2 and set the amps. Well, the amps could be lower, you know. I'll set them to 2, I'll not just go completely mad. You can go down as far as 1 amp if you want, you know. 1 amp will be even more cautious. But I'm going to put 2 amps through it, and I'm just going to bring the voltage up. I'm going to measure the voltage of that battery coming up with this voltmeter just to show you. And I'm going to press the button now and watch the voltmeter that's connected up to the battery. See, it's going up right away. And as soon as that battery reaches 17 volts, we're going to take it off the charge and try it in the charger. It takes longer than the jump start method, but it's, like I say, it's much safer. You see it's coming up to 13.4. This is not going to take very long at all. So I'm going to pause the video and then we'll start up again when I get to 17 volts. Right, here we are now. We've got up to 17 volts, and we can we'll remove the voltmeter first. We don't need that. Take that away. We'll just remove the power supply now. I'll just stop her and remove this. Put her off. Put the lid on that and try it on the charger. There we are. We're charging. We'll leave that on a little while to see what happens, but I'm pretty confident we'll have a fantastic job. If you have a battery that's not charging and I've identified low voltage as the issue, below anything below 15, and if you check the banks of cells and they're all even, that means bringing it up with a power supply is a possibility. Even they're very low. Most people recommend jump start, but however, I recommend jump starting the battery However, that's good in a pinch if you're out on site or in the field somewhere just doing what you have to do. You need to get a battery going, you haven't time. But if you have access to a workshop and a power supply, this is what you should be doing. As you can see, this is up to 2 bars already. So we'll have to leave it on a bit longer and see what happens. Here we are, we've got the 4 bars now. That's what we're waiting on, and we'll try her on a tool to see if she goes. Perfect. Now we've got this fuel impact driver. It's got quite a simple problem, but quite an annoying problem. If you look down there, there's a butt holder broke in the collet. Look, you can't get the butt holder into it because there's a chunk still left inside. So what do you do when this happens? Quite simple. You remove this collet here. This collet has to come off, and what you do is take off the snap ring, the washer, the spring, and there's 2 balls, and hopefully we'll be able to free it up, be able to get that bit loose. Taking apart the collet is a fiddly procedure, but you don't need any special real tools or anything well sophisticated to do it. Usually a screwdriver like this, or maybe a wee hook and pick or something like that. I have a hook and pick set like this here. It can be quite useful when removing these. Just something like this can be incredibly useful to get under that little snap ring off there. That's the hardest part. Then you take the washer off. Then there's the spring. And then this is the part you need to be careful of. When you take off this collet, there's balls there and they can drop out. We'll take that collet off anyway. There's 2 balls there. So we need to try not to lose them because they're a specific size, you know. There's one out. Get the other one out there. The magnetic tray is your best friend of these sort of things. So that's what's holding the. Get this retaining thing that holds the 2 balls on. Easily, we'll get that off. As well. That's good. There we are. So I'll have to try and get this broken bit out now. I don't know if you can see that. See it down in there. Could be, might come out not so bad. There it is. There's the Fenton item. Where'd it go? No, it didn't go. That's it there. That's the bit we need out. There you are. The washer must have come off. Anyway, so when you have that done, it's only a matter of putting everything back on the way you got it. I'll just move this down to see if I can get close-up reassembly here. The first part is this, and just slide it on over that. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. And there's two slots there. You can see them, we'll just get them right up close. See that slot there? Like that. And we'll turn it around to the other side, just to show you where everything goes. That slot goes in there. Them two things hold the balls on. So there we are. So we'll turn them round and we'll put the balls back on. I always think it's probably good practice in these impact drivers, any brand impact driver for that part. A little bit of grease helps stick the balls in place when you're reassembling, and it hopefully negates the possibility of it rolling off onto the floor and losing them. You want to avoid that kind of carry on. So that's one ball on there. That's ball number 1, and this is ball number 2. Ball number 2. Right, and next thing is collet. Just put that out over it. Okay, like that. And the spring. Then the washer. Like that. Right. This is the tricky part now. Getting this all together and getting the snap ring back on. The split ring, you know. You can see that. Right. Oh, it's working out well. Can't believe it, got it first time. That doesn't always happen, but it's good when it does. Right, so that's a good job. Let's move this back up again. And we'll try the butt holder now, see. That's it. That's perfect. That's a fantastic job. I'm calling that fixed. Milwaukee 5.0 red lithium battery. It's showing no bars. It looks fresh as a daisy. But I'm going to try the charger to show you that it's anything but. We're getting the Milwaukee Christmas, which would denote a faulty battery. And it's powering nothing. They put a voltmeter on it here. At the moment we're getting 0.23 of a volt. I measured it earlier and I got 0.48 of a volt, but it's gotten worse. The jump start has already been attempted in this and it didn't work at all. But I'm going to open it and go deeper to see. At the top of the battery there's no obvious broken connections there. Check this battery. We're getting 0.25 of volt in the first bank of cells. The second bank of cells, no increase. No increase there. No increase there. No increase there. So really, there's 0.25 in this front bank of cells and there's nothing in the rest, so that battery pack is completely gone. All the cells are completely kaput in it. So if I want to save this battery pack, what I have to do is replace all these. As good old lady luck would have it, I have 10 cells that I salvaged from this old 6 ampere flex volt that I took apart, they're all unbalanced. That was 2.81 volts. I charged them all up to 4.17 or 4.18. These are Samsung 20S's, which are not a bad sell. The only thing is they'll make this battery into a 4.0 instead of a 5.0, which it was originally. But at the minute it's a 0.0, so 4 amps is better than no amps in my book. Still getting the flashing light. We're going to have to go for full circuit board replacement. Yes, circuit board replacement is our only choice for this one. Being the de facto battery doctor of the internet, I have one of these on hand, so it'll be just a matter of fitting it. Right, that's it all back together, showing 4 bars, which is what we want. Now we'll put the voltmeter on it to see what kind of voltage we got. Get 19.7, 19.8 there, so that's very good. I'll put her on the charge to see how she does. Well, she's taking the charge anyway, so that's far better than she was. That should achieve full voltage. And we'll try her on a drill. I'm calling that fixed. Look at this Milwaukee Fuel SDS brushless rotary hammer. It's going sometimes, but sometimes it stops going. You manipulate the battery. It's got the typical wobbly battery syndrome, but that's not what's causing the problem. I suspect it's broken wire. I don't think the terminals are too badly damaged there. All we can do is open it and check. Right, with the cover off, we have the job of looking for the brake here. There'll be something to do with this. There's a loose wire already. I think we've got it. We've got lucky here. I'm going to show you. see that white wire. That white wire has become completely detached. So it'll be just a matter of reattaching that, and we should be good to go. That's what's causing the issue, I fear. Protect the resin on that, and I'm just melting that off so we can clean this, hopefully, and get a good solid attachment. That's a small wire. It's probably enough there. That's attached now, so hopefully that'll do the business for us here. Just gonna put it back together. That's all the screws on now. Time for the moment of truth to see if that fix has worked. I'm going to slam on the battery and give it a go. Yeah, I'm calling that fixed. Welcome to my channel. Today I've got this M18 Red Lithium XC 5.0. What's curious about this one is it's a USA distributed one. I usually get the European and Ireland and UK ones, which have a different font on them. They're called the Red Lithium 5.0. There's no XC on them, and the label on the bottom's different. But this has been sent to me to repair, and it's a bit dirty, to say the least. So first thing I probably should do is clean it up a little bit, and then I'll give it a little test, you know. Clean enough that I could probably have a look at it now. If I press the button, that button doesn't feel right, it's pushed in, there's something weird going on there. And I'll just do a volt check on it. With the voltmeter attached, you can see it's showing 0.22 of a volt, and that's virtually nothing. It's not nothing, but it's near enough. What's going on with the button? Obviously it's showing nothing anyway because there's no voltage in it. The connection at the top sometimes gets broken there, but that one's okay. The terminals don't look too bad. Just to get on. With this out of the pack, we can do a individual cell bank test. There's 5 banks of 2. This is how you test. We're going to see if we can not block the camera here. There's 0.04 of a volt there. There's nothing there. You can see that. Nothing. There's 0.04 and there's 0.08 and there's 0.0 something. There's one of them cells is showing nothing here, I think. One of them cell banks that's showing nothing, which is disturbing, because if they're all showing something, maybe the jump start would be a possibility. But it's still worth trying. Feeling that all the cells would need to be replaced, which you can probably do as well, but it's a big job. I'm not always the greatest advocate of the jump start method of battery recovery. You'll have seen it a million times before. You connect negative to negative and positive to positive and jump the power from a good one into the bad one and get it going again. This is the nuclear option, because as you see, things are pretty dire with this battery. There's no voltage in it, or next to no voltage in it. So what I'm going to do is, in order to be safer than most people do, I monitor the voltage as I'm doing it, so I can pull off the leads if it's getting too, gives them too much a shock, because you can actually fry the cells. But the condition these cells are in at the minute, we've nothing to lose. We've literally nothing to lose with these cells. There'll be a spark and you'll see this, there'll be a spike here. You'll see this voltage going up. And we want to get the voltage up to about well over 17, I would say, just to get hopefully she takes it. If we have an improvement. It's just it's beating her. Get up there. Oh. We could give her another spike to see what she's going to do, but this may not work. Like I say, it may not work. I think I need a bigger battery, because it's drained my other battery down. Hang on, I'll get another battery. Right, we'll just switch this battery over here. We'll have another one. Be careful not to touch these leads together. See, it's drained that battery from 3 bars to 1. There was a big jump, big surge in power. This one has 3 bars, so go again. See if she can take it on up. We've only got to 13 volts. So we'll do another check in the cell banks here, all the way down. You see what voltage we're getting. That has recovered. That has recovered. That has recovered. Like I suspected. Because there was nothing in that, it didn't recover. So that's 4 out of the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 has recovered, and these 2 have not, because they were just, there was no power in them. If there's anything in them at all, you have a good chance. If they're all very, very low and very, very equally low, you have a good chance. But if some are dead, or much lower than the rest, you have no chance. So instead of having to replace the whole pack, you probably just have to pop out these 2 cells now. But we'll let that sit to cool down before we do any more work to it, and we'll see if we can recover the pack. Giving the pack a chance to cool down, and I've got a couple of cells reclaimed from an old DeWalt battery, also a 5.0, so the cells will be the same capacity roughly, and I've got them charged to around the same voltage, which will make a difference across the pack. We're trying to get as balanced a pack as possible. If there's too much cell imbalance, the pack will not work, will not charge, and will not go. If there's too much, a wee bit of cell imbalance, you'll not get a fully charged pack. You'll not get a pack that reaches its full potential, charged to 19 volts rather than 20, you know, or something like that. These are little protectors that you can put in the end of cells, because the body's all coated in insulation here, but the body's all the negative. This raised up part at this side is the positive. So the negative and the positive are very close here, and you can get cross connection by accident, which is bad. So that's why we use these. I'll get these bad cells popped out here. You got to be careful doing this. When you're working with a dead cell, it's not too bad. It's the live cells that are fully loaded with power. They can give you trouble. And plus, I failed to say that a jumpstart method has its problems too. You could get into, you take a risk. You could put your cells into thermal runaway, overheating and stuff, but usually the safety measures deactivates the cell before that happens, but it's not unheard of, so it's not impossible for that to happen. So be careful. Make sure you put these in the right way as well. They have a nice little rubber bumper between them, these Milwaukee ones, which I like. I think it's a good feature. And you can bash the cells about inside the pack and it doesn't affect them too badly. I think that's something Milwaukee does well. Usually harder to get in, but it's good. that's the pack reassembled. New cells in, so we'll just throw it into the casing and see what happens. We're just trying the charger here now. See what happens. Oh, we're getting the charging light anyway. So we'll leave that on while I'm showing the one. Well, it hasn't worked out. That still showing a fault light. Still showing a flashing light. Even though it's within chargeable voltage. So the only thing we can do now at this stage is open it again and replace the circuit board. So we've got to try it in the charger now. Let's see if we can have a success finally. It's charging. See that? 2 bars and it's charging. So we'll have to leave that a little while, see how it does. So a nice green light in the charger. That's what we're waiting on. 4 bars. Charged battery is showing 19.8 in the voltmeter. This would indicate a slight bit of cell imbalance, but not crucial, not serious. And we'll try it on a tool to see what we've got. See if we've a working one. There was never any doubt. There we are, that's that battery fixed. Distributed in the USA, fixed in County Tyrone. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and check out my channel for all my other videos.